This is Shihan Hussaini, your archery coach and director of Who Archery Mission, as well as the director of the Coaches Committee, Archery Association of India. You are in the Level 2 Compound Bow Specialization Workshop of the Who Archery Mission and the Archery Association of Tamil Nadu, TAAT. In this section, you will learn about the knocking point, the loop, the reloop, how to install the sight or sighter on the bow, and a few other things. First, let's learn about the knocking point or the loop. The height of the knocking point on the string should be set so the arrow appears to be level when the bow is held straight up and down. That is, the arrow is perpendicular to the string. Once again, the setting is not critical, as it too will be moved in the tuning process. Hand-tied knot sets and a rope release work really very well. A string loop is also very popular. There are three effective ways to tie a string loop. The first is to tie the loop and bottom knots equally spaced above and below the arrow. With this loop, the release will be pulling from a point slightly above the knock of the arrow. This results in very little pressure from the arrow on the arrow rest. Very little pressure. With very little downward pressure, it is somewhat easier for the arrow to fall off the rest. The second loop is the same as the first, with the addition of a knocking point placed below the arrow inside of the loop. This brings the pressure of the release down directly behind the knock of the arrow and puts some downward pressure on the rest. Thus, might be preferable in windy conditions. The last loop has a knocking point above the arrow and both the top and the bottom knots of the loop tied below the arrow. The loop results in the same pressure on the string and rest as a rope release applies. This loop may be shorter in length because there is no need to leave room for the arrow knock between the release and the string. Now let's come to the sight. Let's see how to install the sight on a compound bow. A sight should be easily and accurately adjusted with a reliable locking system. Having a level on the sight is very important for shooting distances beyond 18 meters. Canting the bow affects the impact of the arrow greatly at longer distances. Level the sight bar and scope with the bow so windage does not change when the elevation is adjusted. A scope on a compound bow consists of a housing with a single lens and a level known as the bubble. The power magnification of the scope lens is based on personal preference. 4 and 6 power lenses are most common. The higher the magnification the lens has, the more detail you will see in the target. The higher power not only magnifies the target, but it also magnifies the appearance of the archer's wiggle. Seeing too much wiggle may be detrimental and not good. So choose the scope housing color, diameter and peep size so that it is easy to center the scope accurately in the peep. A black scope, peep and aiming dot is easier to center and focus on. Black is a soft color and easy for the eyes to focus on. Now choose a peep diameter that allows you to see a narrow ring of light around the outside of the scope housing. This will help to keep the peep centered on the scope. When aiming with a peep sight and a level, the archer should center the peep on the scope and check the level before focusing on the dot in the scope or the target. Once the focus shifts to the dot or target, it should remain there. The focus must remain there. The peep and level should not distract the archer's aiming. To install a sight on a compound bow, both the sight on the riser and set the sight extension at the length it will be shot at. Pulling the extension in close to the riser will cause the archer to see less detail while aiming, as well as less perceived wiggle. So there will be less wiggle if you bring the sighter closer to the riser. Extending the sight shows more detail for finer aiming as well as magnifying the appearance of the wiggle. Place the bow so that the string is vertical in all directions. Next, place a level against the vertical adjustment bar. Loosen the screws that hold the bar onto the extension and adjust the bar so that it is level. Retighten the screws of the bar. With a level against the vertical bar, loosen the scope on the sight block and adjust it till the level in the scope matches the level on the vertical bar. Retighten the scope on the sight block. Archers who intend to shoot field archery may then wish to rock the bow forward and backward with a level along the string to see if the third axis of the scope needs to be adjusted. If the bubble moves left and right in the scope when the bow is pointed up and down, loosen the third axis adjustment screws and rotate the scope until the level no longer changes when pointed up and down. You can consult the owner's manual. You must consult the owner's manual for the sight to find the proper screws or adjustments for the third axis. Sights designed for recurve bows may not withstand the vibration of a powerful compound bow. Well, thank you. You just learnt about nocking point, loops, and how to install a sighter. Catch you soon with another session. Let's break up here. Since the lecture is loaded with information, it will not get into your big head easily. If it does, you must be a genius. Please listen to the lecture over and over again in your headphones. This will truly help you understand what I am trying to say. Keep repeating till you are thorough with it. God bless you. Catch you soon. Bye-bye.